Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Huddleston, and I'm currently a Master's of Social Work student. Today, I'm presenting an intervention plan I created called Project Shift, which stands for Support, Healing, Intervention, and Future Transformation. This project builds directly off my previous analysis of the service gaps affecting incarcerated youth and uses a macro social work framework to create long-term change. So I would like to share my screen with you. And I will be going over my presentation. So as you can see, it's called Project Shift, a transformational intervention for incarcerated youth. This next slide is just a picture of our youth and um, basically just saying we can and we will. And I love that. Now, the problem is gaps in service. So in my last assignment, I shared how incarcerated youth, especially youth of color, face major service gaps. There's often no consistent plan for reentry, little or no access to trauma support, and a serious disconnect between juvenile justice systems and community-based services. Once youth are released, they face challenges with school, housing, jobs, and mental health. Many of these youth become people from under-resourced communities and already carry the weight of systematic inequality. These gaps make recidivism more likely and transformation nearly impossible without support. So that's where the problem is. It's the gaps in service, and we can see that big picture. Slide 3, I'm sorry, slide 4. We're gonna go over the Project Shift overview. So this is the introduction to the Project Shift that I want to introduce. The Project Shift overview. So it supports mentorship, service navigation during and after incarceration. It's healing, so access to trauma-informed therapy and peer support, as intervention, personalized case planning, and resource matching. And then future transformation, digital tools for support and long-term reintegration. I have a hard time with that word. I apologize. Um, so with this overview, this is where Project Shift comes in. This is a trauma-informed intervention that uses both digital and community-based strategies to support youth before and after incarceration. The 4 pillars of Shift: support, healing, intervention, and future transformation are designed to wrap around the whole person. The program includes mentorship, therapy service, navigation, and digital tools to keep youth connected and on track. It's not just about getting them out of the system, it's about helping them build a life that keeps them from going back to the system. Goals of the intervention. So there's 2 main goals of Project Shift, and that would be to help justice, so involved youth successfully transition back into their communities. So these are kids that might have just had a hard time. Maybe they went through trauma, had bad experiences, and it led them to do bad acts, which we know that mistakes happen, but that's no reason for them to stay in the system for their whole life. The second goal is utilize technology ethically to deliver consistent support and improve outcomes. So this is a goal just because technology is so large and big right now that it is important to include that in any type of project that we're doing, especially including our youth, because they are so into technology and the way of life that comes with technology these days. These goals, though, center around the voices and needs of the youth while keeping social workers accountable through tools and supervision. the SMART objectives with ethical tech use. So, objective of Project Shift. The objective one that we're going to go over is implement trauma-informed case management through casebook software. Secure digital consent using youth-friendly privacy forms, HIPAA or FERPA. And establish quarterly ethical review systems for digital interactions and data collection. So first we'll use Casebook, a trauma-informed case management platform to track each use plan, progress, and services in one place. Second, we'll make sure all tech use follows ethical guidelines. Youth and their guardians will provide digital consent and will make sure we meet HIPAA and FERPA standards. Third, we'll monitor how we use this technology with regular ethical reviews. Staff will do quarterly check-ins to make sure everything is working the way it should and that the youth data is safe. The target population. So this program is for youth ages 14 to 20 who are currently incarcerated or have been recently released. Most of them are Black and Brown youth from communities that have been historically over policies and underfunded. They've often experience school push out, family instability, and trauma, and they need more than just surveillance. They need safety, opportunity, and consistent human connection. And they need to know like that there is a bright future out there for them. And without having these guidelines and these things in place, it makes it difficult to meet those needs of all of the youth population that does get incarcerated or even ones that have not yet been incarcerated. So the project shift, the activities for Project Shift include digital mentorship, so weekly virtual or in-person check-ins. Each obviously youth has different ways on how they want to do their therapy. So whatever they're feeling more comfortable with, that is what they'll go with, as long as it's working and being successful and meeting their goals. Healing circles, so that's peer-led trauma groups moderated by clinicians. Service navigation, so one-on-one support for housing, school, jobs pause, and reflect. And then the Shift Hub, so digital portal for reminders, resources, and progress tracking. So this will be a place where we can keep all information and help us keep track of the youth along with their progress or the lack of progress and what else needs to be done. So first, each youth will be paired with a mentor who meets with them weekly, virtually or in person, as mentioned. These mentors are trained in trauma-informed care and motivational interviewing. Second, youth will have the chance to join healing circles, peer-led group sessions facilitated by clinicians to process trauma, identity, and goals. Third, case managers will help youth navigate housing, GED programs, therapy, and employment opportunities. And then we'll also offer a digital tool called the Shift Hub, where youth get reminders, track goals, and access the support resources themselves also. So resources and supervision, resources that are needed for this change. To make this work, we'll need a small but dedicated team. So two full-time social workers, one clinical consultant, one tech coordinator, and a team of 10 trained volunteer mentors. Funding will be around $150,000 a year, supported through grants and local partnerships. We'll also provide secure tablets or smartphones when needed. If there is youth that don't have those accessible to them in their home, then we will be able to get those for them. Supervision will include biweekly trauma-informed case huddles and structured consultations to make sure staff stay grounded, supported, and ethical in their practices. And then the timeline for this implementation plan, um, in the months of 1 to 2, hiring, software setup, mentor recruitment. Months 3 to 4, staff training, ethical tech prep, youth onboarding. And then months 5 to 6, launch a pilot cohort. So 20 to 30 youth will be doing a pilot try with this. And then month 7 to 12, ongoing services, monitoring, and evaluation. So that way we can see our progress and see how well this is doing, and we can keep getting funding or grants to help these children in these communities. And any youth that is incarcerated or might be incarcerated in the future. So the implementation timeline for Project Shift is simple and flexible. By month 5, we'll launch the pilot program. So that will be by month 5. Month 7 and 12 will focus on evaluation and tracking outcomes and making necessary improvements or changes. Now, this expected outcome and evaluation, so measuring the shift impact. So this is going to reduce recidivism within 12 months. So helping the youth not go back to these facilities or get in any more trouble to cause them to be in these places. Increased school re-enrollment and job placement. So when youth have something to do after they get out, like school or job, it makes them more um it makes them want to succeed and be more successful. It's something that they have to look forward to rather than no hope or something that they have to go back to that they weren't looking forward to. So positive change in mental health and emotional regulation. Obviously, with that change, that helps out a variety of things within the youth. So tools, the youth surveys, mentor logs, recidivism tracking, and focus groups. Those will all be a part of the outcome and evaluation for this impact. So, we'll measure the success of Project Shift in several ways. So, as mentioned, first, we expect a reduction in recidivism. We'll track the school re-enrollment and job placements. And then we'll measure change in youth mental health using pre and post surveys. We'll also hold focus groups with youth families to make sure their voices are heard and centered to our continuous improvement process. This slide is just my references that I did use for my presentation. And then I just want to that's the end of my presentation today. I just want to thank you so much for your time. As social workers, we have a duty to move beyond punishment and toward transformation. Project Shift is about restoring dignity, rebuilding lives, and giving justice involved youth a real chance to move forward. If we truly believe in second chances, we must create systems that support them. I welcome your feedback and look forward to seeing how we can make this shift come to life. Thank you.